Do you ever watch the Always Sunny podcast?
I clips of it. I have not. I don't even know where to watch the full thing.
I finally this is the new podcast I just got into, and they only have 50 episodes, and I'm literally actually it's funny, they filmed the first like 20 with no video because they thought that podcast, it's just something you listen to on the way to work.
Okay, yeah.
They're like, oh, apparently people want to look at this shit. So after like 20 episodes, they started filming it. But each episode so far is going over an episode of the show. So episode 1 was 1, 2, 2.
Oh,
3.
interesting.
So that gives them a topic. And then they'll throw little themes in every once in a while too. Like, two different times they called up fans, or fans got a chance to call in and they got to talk to them, or they did a trivia thing too or something. So I thought it was interesting. I was trying to watch them for like ideas of like they're always trying to add structure to it, and I know we have no structure at all. We're like,
yeah, we've talked before about segments like
it's an idea,
it's cool. It kind of flows.
And what else is interesting too is obviously they get off topic and go off the structure all the time, but what happens is they all end up coming back to the episode. They're like, oh wait, don't bring it back, then, which I thought was interesting. But at the same time, I kind of like them just hearing them riff and just bullshit, and
Yeah.
I don't know, but it is cool to hear what the process was each episode that they go thinking back on it, and also like what jokes they got away with back then they couldn't get away with now, like saying the R word.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
Raccoon.
Coon trying to get on the back porch. Mama just hit him out with a broom.
I don't know that reference.
Forrest Gump, dude.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Exactly.
Shoot.
Exactly. Why maybe structure is a good idea.
Yeah, structure. Yeah, I love this podcast though. I'm a big fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's just a cool story how these guys got together. They were all actors, by the way. I didn't really realize this. I mean, except for Mac, I guess he never really got any good parts or anything. But Charlie was like an actor, and so was Glenn. I think that's his name.
Glenn, the guy who plays Dennis.
Dennis, yeah. I don't mean to point with that.
Don't you point that fucking mic at me. Actually, this is something that hasn't been addressed. I mean, we
were supposed to address this.
We addressed it in the last podcast, which is why we glossed over this time. Oh, no. We have a couch now.
And no.
Okay.
No mic stand.
I haven't quite figured out the mic stand, which I think is good because Dalton moves around a lot.
It's good and bad because now I seem to use this as a prop now, I've noticed.
Yeah, don't do that. Just don't do that. It's cool.
I feel like the Statue of Liberty.
Those chairs were the most uncomfortable things I've ever purchased in my life.
They were a little creaky.
And they were super creaky.
That was my
I bought them on Amazon and they shipped from Beijing or some shit.
I didn't think it was the most uncomfortable, but a loud chair annoys me, I think.
If you guys are familiar, go back, you'll see those chairs, and it looks like two giant pads, but they are not. That is like pleather stretched over 2x4s, and those 2x4s dig into your back. And we have been talking about getting a couch for a while. It's more comfortable for our regular life, not the podcast.
We could potentially have a third person in the middle.
We definitely could have a third person in the. I would love to get cozy with a fourth person even.
That's real cozy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, this would be great for a guest, having a third person in the middle.
We've talked about it. It might happen someday. We'll see. I don't even know if
it'll happen right around the time we structure the podcast. Right around the time we figure that part out.
Yeah. Once we add some structure, this will be great. Back to my Always Sunny references, I guess, because I just got in this podcast recently, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually skipped all the episodes that didn't have them filming, and I just went straight to the ones where they were filming each other. I don't know why. I now I have to go back and listen to them now. But while I'm on eBay or whatever, I'm watching these guys, and I love the story where these guys just filmed the skit and tried to present it to different networks, and FX picked it up, and luckily they were like super liberal, I guess, with what these guys could do. And didn't have too many restrictions, but it is interesting hearing what little restrictions they did have. Like, you're not allowed to say F them in the A, you know what I mean? But they were allowed to say J all over your B's, which means jizz all over your butts. But you couldn't say F them in the A because everybody knows what F in the A means, apparently. You know, so I don't know. So I thought that was funny. They like to bring up and stuff like what they had to pay for, which is really interesting because they're also involved in all the purchasing on the show. So, for example, to use music, they said the most they ever had to spend on a piece of music was the Ghostbusters theme song. And they said it cost him $80,000 to use it.
Holy shit!
Isn't that nutty? Apparently, their Ghostbusters was thinking about having a movie come out at that time, and so they didn't want always. I don't know how that works. If they're like how they argue that, like, we don't want you using us to get publicity or what, or we don't want bad publicity from you. I don't know how they argue that, but. 80,000, and then it was also an argument like, do we really need this song, like, but they did it anyways. And they said like Prince or Michael Jackson or these other songs they threw in were like maybe 20,000 or something, like way less. So I don't know, I definitely check that. It's just Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast on YouTube, and they only have like 50 episodes out right now. I think they do one a week or something. And it's about halfway through, maybe 20 episodes in, they started doing ads in the middle, which is it's kind of comical because they have a piece of paper and they're like trying to read what these people or what these
the copy, the
mattress companies trying to advertise to them, and they kind of try to make it funny, but they're also like, you can tell they're just reading from this boring script kind of.
Well, now they're the longest live-action sitcom that's still airing.
15 seasons, I think they have.
Yeah.
I just started watching episode 1 of season 15.
Okay. I haven't watched since like season 10 or 11. I'm just behind. Great show, though. I love that show.
I know. I mean, I watched the first episode, like I said. I can definitely tell these guys are getting a little older, man. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I mean, great. I'm so glad they've kept the show going, but I wonder, like, when do you call it? Throw in the retirement on that, and go on to something else and do other shit.
I guess when you're, no longer interested in money.
This is what's making all the money for us.
Yeah,
so we should probably keep doing this.
I would do it until like it was demanded to be off the air. I would never stop.
Mac has another side project called Mythic Quest or Mr. Quest.
You talking about his NFT project?
No, it's a TV show or something.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know about it. And I'm so confused because they purposely call it 2 different names because they're fucking around, and I don't know what the real name is. I don't know if it's Mr. Quest or Mythic Quest.
Okay.
And if Charlie and him are just making fun, what's the show called? Mythic? Because they act like they've never seen it or something like that, But and that's funny too. They make fun of each other for their side projects they got going on, and Charlie doing Horrible Bosses. Like a fan calls in and was like, "Yeah, I saw Horrible Bosses, and then I want to get into the show." And like, "Oh, you saw Horrible Bosses?"
That's funny.
And it's so funny how young the fan base is too. Like they weren't there. I don't know if they were expecting like most of their fan base that was calling in were like 20-year-olds and stuff that. Like, the show's been around almost for as long as you've been alive, and you're a fan of it, It's cool.
Mac also owns a bar in Philly. I literally think it's called Mac's Bar.
Really?
And that's been around for a while. If it's still around, it's been around for a while.
Mac is married to D in the show
Yeah.
in real life. Her name's Kelsey, or I was about to say Kelsey, but I don't want to. I was like, oh wait, your wife's name's Kelsey. I might be messing the right. Caitlin. It's Caitlin. Not,
Okay.
Yeah. And then Charlie is married to the waitress in real life. I forgot her name. Whatever. But I don't know if fun facts for you guys if you ever watched Always Sunny. I guess I'm full of fun trivia. I don't know if you ever realized.
Speaking of structure, I'm going to take a hard turn and
do it.
Did you hear about the lady in Montana who killed a wolf and put it on Facebook?
Nope.
Okay.
Killed a wolf and put it on Facebook?
Get this. She's out hunting.
Posted it?
Posted on Facebook. She's out hunting, sees a wolf, shoots, kills, and skins it. And then posted on Facebook saying, you know, like, she's a hero, killed a wolf, wolves kill other things, glory to her. It's immediately revealed to be a husky.
I was about to say there's one lone wolf out in the fucking...
It was a dog.
Oh,
it was a husky dog.
Oh, no.
And she posted that to Facebook, a skinned husky dog that she killed.
Oh, my God.
Can you believe that?
That's sad.
I think this happened in Montana, and obviously, and rightfully so, she's getting a bunch of hate for it. And she's got like this inbred boyfriend who posted on Facebook, like almost a copy pasta. It was like the most incoherent, long response about how he'll come to my property and say it to my face, I got a bullet for you, shit like that. Like, these people are just trash.
I was just about to say, I saw a TikTok recently of a guy approaching another guy on his porch, a guy and his wife, and the only thing you hear the one guy approaching say, did you shoot? Or he says, do you have a pellet gun?
I seen that one.
He's like, do you have a pellet gun? And he's like, yeah. He's like, did you shoot my dog? And then he just gets right in his face, basically. He's like, you shot my fucking dog with the pellet gun. And then he's like asking for the guy's name, and he finds out he's a cop somehow.
He's a cop.
And I don't know how true that story is or how that fucking happened, but that guy.
I mean, if you looked at this guy, you would know he's a cop.
He kind of
he looks like a thumb.
Yeah, he did, man. He did. Totally.
Sorry, Dad. I know you're retired now, but
is he bald too?
Yeah, he is. All cops look like fucking thumbs, and Dad, you are no exception.
Oh, that's funny. But man, I can't imagine like seeing your dog like fucking get shot or something. Oh my God, dude. Terrible.
Yeah, and with the pellet gun too. This was not like a quick thing. It like punctured a lung or something. Something horrible happened.
Wow.
Totally fucked up.
What a hard turn we went there, huh?
Yeah, now we're talking about dead dogs.
I was trying to talk about maybe writing a script together and like getting some skits, and you want to talk about dead dogs.
My dog just had a tooth removed and a growth on her eye removed.
Oh.
So she had to be in a cone for 2 weeks. In week 1 of her being in the cone, Kelsey was petting her and found a giant fucking growth on her side.
Oh no.
And I was like, she's like, when they go to take the stitches out of the eye, you got to ask them about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't. We just spent $1,000 on this tooth removal and this eye thing. She's like had her value. You know what I mean? If I tell the vet like, hey, there's this growth on her side, and the vet goes, oof, we got to remove that, I'm gonna feel guilty enough to remove it. I'd rather just not fucking know. You know what I mean?
That's tough, man.
I will pay for the dogs. I'll pay for the vet visits. Like if she were to break a leg or get into a dog fight or something. If it's like a traumatic injury and needs to be fixed quickly, I'll pay for that. Her medical expenses beyond that, she's tapped out.
It's not like she's in pain. It's just maybe a little cyst or something.
The cancer riddles her body, then she might be in pain. Once she's covered in tumors, that might be a different story.
She can still get up, kind of. So she's...
My buddy's got a dog who's really old. It's this old like boxer mix, and that thing is covered in gross. Eventually he was like, I'm done getting these removed because they're probably, I mean, the vets are always like, they're nothing. But he was just getting them removed. Now that dog is covered. There's like no removing all of them.
Jeez.
Dogs get lumpy as they get old, people.
I don't want to talk about my dog getting old. She's only 1 year old this week.
Soon she'll be dead. Give it like 9 years and you'll have to go through a traumatic fucking death of something you love.
I'm going to stuff her and she's going to be in my living room the rest of my life.
I've been talking about getting Veda stuff. Kelsey is not with it. Kelsey does not like that. And I get that stuffing a whole dog is expensive, but it would be cool. Like, you know how people do the deer? Like, it's just the head?
I saw one yesterday that was the head, and then they took the hooves on the bottom, like
for
little
a coat rack. Yeah.
Yeah, use the hooves too.
You could do the same thing with Veda. Like, have her mouth open and hang your car keys from her canines.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
How could we use the tail?
I don't know. You leave my dog's tail alone.
I'm like an Indian. I want to use the whole thing, man. The whole body.
Do you know about the tails? Oh God, I shouldn't have done this.
I'm supposed to say Native American. I'm sorry.
That's fine. You know the butt plugs that have tails at the end?
I know of them. Sure.
Don't do that with my dog's tail when she dies. I'm not letting you do that. I don't know where I was going with that, but it went there.
There's got to be some weird business out there that's like, did your dog just die? Call me up. I'll buy the tail.
I'll buy the tail. Oh my God. There's like a whole like clientele of sexual deviants who want to know the dog's whole history when they buy the tail butt plug.
Oh. It's all about the lineage and
this dog was a AKC certified purebred golden retriever.
Stud.
Its father was a championship diver or whatever.
Pedigree.
Yeah, pedigree.
It's got some deep pedigree here. That's funny. That's a weird skit right there. Let's get some dog-tailed butt plugs.
Let's just get some dog tails. Let's just head out to the dog park, harvest some dog tails, super glue them to butt plugs. I'll let you wear them.
They cut the tails off dogs already all the time. What do they do with those?
You know what they do with them. The vet's got a side hustle.
They've got a fucking butt plug side hustle business, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, I was wondering why did you cut the tail off that dog? Like, did it annoy you to hit you in the face one day? And you're like, that dog.
I don't know exactly why tails get cut off dogs. My grandma had a Labrador. And as she was leaving the house one day, the door slammed. So she slammed the door and the dog's tail got caught in the door.
I'm so worried about doing that.
You know, dogs are like dumb and they don't really feel pain. The dog's sitting there wagging its tail and blood's getting all over the walls. And they had to cut it off because it was like it was broken.
Oh no. I had to cut the tail off my chameleon. Not me personally.
Oh, okay.
My second chameleon, the one I have currently. He had a shed, and the very end skin on the tail didn't come off, and it cut the circulation off on the tip, and the tip turned black. And so we basically went to the vet, and they said you basically told us what happened. We could either leave it or cut it off, and we ended up asking him to amputate it off the chameleon, which cost as much as the chameleon, definitely.
You know, he was just back there with like a fucking razor blade, a box cutter.
Oh, dude, the funniest thing was the vet trying to ask us questions about the chameleon. Like, he's got a questionnaire before the amputation. He's like, is Pablo allergic to anything? I'm like,
having his tail cut off, you fucking wacko.
I'm like, well, he likes crickets. Not the biggest fan of the worm. I don't know.
Is he allergic to anything? Yeah, he's penicillin, codeine.
Don't give him any heroin. He hates that. I can't remember what other questions were, man. It was like really, but it was funny asking me for a chameleon, you know, it made no sense, obviously. Is he gonna have a ride home?
I did something dumb this week. Me and Dalton are going to Collecticon in Denver. It's in 2 weeks from now. It's a big trading card show. I think they have comic books, shit like that.
Is Lenhart gonna be there? I saw his face on a picture or something.
I don't think so. I've been looking at guests extensively because I'm getting autographs.
It might just been from other events or some shit. Yeah.
But there's this other trading card game called MetaZoo.
Oh right, you're talking about this.
And I've been getting into MetaZoo. It's a fairly new trading card game. The interesting story, MetaZoo launched with a Kickstarter, and they had only a couple hundred people who funded into it.
Okay.
And now they're in like their they're releasing their 5th set in a couple weeks. And they are a wildly successful trading card game now. And those first people that backed the Kickstarter got like Kickstarter exclusive booster boxes.
Yeah.
And those are worth so much money now.
Of course.
And like the card to pull is called Mothman, and those cards sell for like a few grand a piece now.
Dude, I fucked up and I didn't buy those Steve-O shirts I texted you on.
Oh, that's funny.
I totally fucking forgot about it and went there a day or two ago and it was gone off the site. Steve-O put out a shirt. He had had his fans like a little contest to try to draw up like a shirt ID, I believe. And it was Mike Tyson's face and then an iron, like, you know, an iron you'd iron your shirts with, and then a Dyson like vacuum cleaner. And it was all just like a rough sketch, really, and it was like Iron Mike Dyson, basically. And it's just a funny little shirt, but Steve-O.com, he said on his YouTube channel, I was like, I just happened to watch the clip where he released it that day, and I texted Cody like that day, you know, Steve-O put this shirt out, and he says he's only going to put it out for a week because he can't use Mike Tyson's face normally, but Tyson gave him a week to go for it for a week. And of course I was like, I'll buy some in a day or two, and I fucking forgot. And then a week later they're gone, so now I'm sure I'm gonna see them on eBay for $500 or something stupid, or at the dang next time I go to the t-shirt thrift con, they're gonna be on the damn rack and I'm gonna fucking punch myself in the face.
The reason I got into MetaZoo is because at Collecticon there are artists who sign shit. The voice for James from Pokemon is going to be there. He also does Brock and Squirtle, so I got like a Brock card and a James card and a Squirtle Funko Pop. Like, I'm going to have him sign these things so that I can sell them on eBay for a little more money. And then I saw MetaZoo.
I didn't even think about that. I thought about just getting stuff signed for my own fucking selfish self, but I should probably sell some shit, huh?
Yeah, for sure. So one of the big things was
how like greedy are you when you're going? I've never been to. I guess I've been to professional skateboard demos and I've gotten stuff signed there, but I would usually just bring like one poster or one board. So how crazy are you? Are you having like them sign like 5 things or like?
I'm gonna have them sign two.
How greedy are you?
Things.
2, okay.
Because I think that's reasonable.
2 is reasonable.
And then I'm gonna be there both days, so then I'll have them sign another 2 things.
Oh, that's 2 days of the autograph thing.
Yeah.
Is it different people each day?
They will all be there both days.
Okay. I thought that was just 1 day for some reason. So
one of the things about Pokemon though is I really love Pokemon art, but the artists are Japanese. So to get a card signed by a Pokemon artist it's impossible. Tough. You have to be in Japan. You have to understand like when they're signing shit. But MetaZoo is an American-based trading card game. So I find out MetaZoo setting up a booth there. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have some cards signed by MetaZoo artists. And I hop onto the MetaZoo Discord and I was like, does anyone know which artists are going to be at Collecticon?
Right.
And the MetaZoo like team member was like, that's not something we give out until like a week before the Collecticon.
Okay.
So what I do is I look up every MetaZoo artist. I find their Instagram and I DM each one of them.
Oh man, okay.
I'm like, you're gonna be at Collecticon. You're gonna be at Collecticon. You're gonna be at finally. Like only one of them has replied to me so far. But I'm like, okay, so I buy all the most expensive cards from that artist so that I can get them signed.
I see where you're going.
Now, in my research, I find that they are hosting a little tournament at Collecticon for MetaZoo. And I'm like, I play Pokemon cards. There are other TCGs I play. MetaZoo is not going to be too difficult to learn. So I quickly sign up for that competition.
You already have the cards and stuff? How deep are you in this shit?
I do have a deck that I'm going to play and shit like that.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The reason I signed up for it is because you get an exclusive like participation card that nobody else will have. And I'm like, okay, that's one more thing I can add to the collection and future sales. Well, I just found out a couple days ago that this isn't just some little competition. This is like equivalent to a regional championships for Pokemon. This is an all-day thing.
Yeah.
So my entire Saturday is playing a trading card game that I've never played in my fucking life.
Interesting.
And I fucked up, dude. I signed up for something. I didn't know what I was signing up for, and now I have to learn how to become really good at this trading card game over the next week and a half. I need to master a trading card game.
Man, how wild is that? What if we can cheat somehow? I'm just kidding.
This game's kind of weird because it requires use of what they call fourth wall items.
Okay.
Which means like...
The reason I bring it up is because usually when there's new games, people haven't figured out the ways how to exploit them yet.
Well,
right?
this game is 2 years old at this point.
Okay.
Didn't
it happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! A while ago?
Oh, people definitely cheat in card games for sure. But my deck and a lot of decks require you to interact with things outside of the game. So like my deck is about aliens, and the attacks do 20 more damage when you shine a flashlight on the playing field as you attack.
So you have to have a flashlight
like
on
a
you?
tractor beam. Yeah.
You're fucking
It's
kidding
a
me.
weird ass game.
You're fucking kidding me. Have you been watching like YouTube videos of people
This game
formulating...
is so tough to learn, dude, because
I mean, yeah. It's
here's
so
the
new.
thing. With all trading card games, you have your deck, you have your hand, right? The cards in your hand, and you draw. But they were like, oh, we're going to be different. Your deck is called your spell book, your hand is called your chapter, and every time you draw is called a page. And it's like, okay, now I've got to learn new terms for every fucking thing because they wanted to be different. Cool thing, though, and you're going to like this, PSA has a booth there, and they're doing on-site grading.
That's actually what I was very, very curious about. I thought that they were going to be there, and I assumed it was going to be like $30 a card or something. I don't know.
I would think it's more.
It might be more but it's on that day grading, right? Like
they just brought bulk back to PSA, so I've finally been able to send a submission in, but it is $22 a card.
22
for my membership on a bulk shipment. So I can't imagine what they're charging at their booth.
Yeah, you're right. But there is like maybe just one or two cards I might need to get done, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, for sure. I would bring cards. I am not going to bring cards. Instead, what I'm going to do is when I get something signed, I'm going to go to PSA, figure out how much it costs to encapsulate. That way I have a same-day turnaround time, which would be crazy.
Yeah, you can sell it
It's
potentially for a lot more.
Yeah, once it's slabbed.
Yeah.
It's normally $35 for autograph authentication, which I'm prepared to send and pay for, but if I can get it done there for $40, I don't have to pay for shipping. I don't have to pay for insurance both ways. Like,
yeah,
it's a much better deal. And they even do, PSA even does Funko Pop autograph authentication, and they put Funko Pops in a giant ass PSA slab. Which is why I'm getting Funko Pops signed at all. I don't know anything about Funko Pops. I think they're fucking dumb, honestly.
Another thing I was thinking about doing while we were there is doing one of those trade up videos where like I bought this card for $1. I traded it for a $2 card, and then that $2 card to a $10 card. Or
Listen, you 100% could do that.
I was thinking about that.
You know how Pokemon has like a plastic coin that comes in some things?
Yeah.
MetaZoo has blister packs that come with coins. And their theme decks come with coins too. And what it is it's kind of cool. It's the size of a quarter. It's made of aluminum, so it's metal, but it's super light. And at MetaZoo booth, you can trade them one of those coins for a booster pack, which is like a $4 item. So now you've traded almost nothing for a $4 item. Someone wants a booster pack, you can trade that booster pack for something. Boom, boom, boom.
I like those videos, and I think going to one of these events, we can get one of those done. I mean, at least I could. I don't know if you want to partake in or challenge me or something.
Well, as you already know,
sounds like you'll be
my Saturday is fucking spent.
You'll be dueling.
Dude,
What, is there a different term? I guess I don't know.
I think it's I think you're called. Are you kidding? You're literally called a spellcaster. That's one of the terms that they use. That's crazy that you pulled that out of your ass.
I forgot to tell you, I'm part of the MetaZoo crew. We put that Kickstarter out a while ago.
Okay,
It was fun. It seems to be taking off. I'm in their Discord. I have never seen a trading card company who cares as much about their player base and their collector base as these people. It's important. It's important, man.
Right now in their Discord, they're doing a two contests, a pumpkin carving contest and a costume contest. They're choosing 10 winners from each, and those 20 people are going to Salem, Massachusetts for an exclusive MetaZoo event. Like, they're going to get tickets and shit.
Salem witchcraft.
Yeah, it's like, because it's spooky season.
They're going to put them on the stake.
Another interesting thing that they've done is they have NFTs.
Ooh, I thought they did. I thought I heard something about that.
And they have like a basic PFP NFT, which for people who don't know, most projects, NFT projects are like, there's 10,000 of them, and they might give you some perks, but they're mostly for a PFP, which is a profile photo. But they have this other NFT, which are, you know, those coins I was telling you about? It's just like a spinning image of one of those coins. And if you hold one, you get early access to their upcoming items. So like if they've got a new set releasing on the 5th, if you're an NFT holder, you can buy it on the 4th. Or I don't know how many days in advance.
Whatever, early release.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they do a lot of cool shit.
What else do they have in the game that incorporates objects in real life? That's kind of funny.
My brother pulled one. I think it's called Hatman. And like, in order to use the attack, you have to tip your hat to the opposing player, like a fedora fucking Hatman. My deck also has a card that says you can only use this attack if you're not wearing pants. So in mid-October in Denver, I have to wear shorts to this fucking that's another fucking thing. I have to wear shorts to Comic-Con. So
how weird, man. Now why would that take off and not the fucking some kind of Harry Potter trading card game, you know?
They did, first of all,
why did this take off?
They invest heavily into their community, like I was saying. This weekend is New York Comic-Con, and they have a crazy thing going on where they have what's called a passport, and you go to their booth, you get a passport book, and then you go to other booths, hidden booths, like one of them's eBay.
Get your passport stamped.
One of them's PSA, and you get them stamped, and along with the stamp, you get an exclusive card. So that at the eBay booth, you get a monster card, and it has an eBay stamp at the bottom corner.
Nice.
Same with PSA. So you got to collect 10 stamps, collect 10 cards, and once you do all that, you can show them your passport book, and they're going to give you something even cooler.
Wow.
So they work closely with companies like eBay and PSA. In fact, there's a booster box of one of their series called, I think it's called Wilderness, and the booster box has an eBay stamp on it, and every single card in that booster box has an eBay stamp, which is fucking cool.
Huh.
So
Wild.
They work really closely with those type of companies, which you get in good favor with them. I'm sure they give them some money. And
speaking of eBay, I'm either definitely this week I'm going to be hitting 1,000 positive feedbacks on my store.
Whoa.
First 1,000 happy customers.
1,000 positive feedbacks.
I feel a little accomplishment, I guess.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Getting there.
I don't get why more people don't leave feedback. I feel like it's an unwritten rule that you leave feedback. I've never not left feedback.
Do you ever have people message you asking you to leave feedback?
Yeah.
I definitely have that sometimes. I left you feedback. Can you please leave me feedback?
I'll have messages about feedback. When I buy something, I'll have like a lot of times someone will throw in a little card that's like, hey, please rate us 5 stars.
Nice.
I think I'm at like 300 right now. But I've sold a lot more than 300 things. You know what I mean?
Right. I know. I actually think like that's 1,000 positive. Like, but how many things have I sold? Probably 10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. Those guys actually took the time to actually say they enjoyed. Then sometimes it does have to do with them enjoying the product. They think they're reviewing the product or something. I love this product or something.
Right.
They don't. Whatever. Anyways, your 3D printer over there reminded me of something. An interesting story that came out. You've probably heard about it, but New York City recently had a gun buyback, okay? And it was $100 a gun, I believe.
Yeah.
And they give you a gift card. And some guy realized that there wasn't any like restrictions on what a fucking gun really is, right? So he went out and he had his 3D printer. He bought just like this Christmas time, went out and printed like, God, I can't even remember what.
It was a box. It was a box of guns.
Yeah, I was gonna do the math in my head. I believe it's 25 guns or something or more. I don't know, because he submitted these 3D printed guns to New York for the gun buyback. At first, they kind of scrambled a little bit. They didn't know if they'd accept it, but eventually they bring him out $100. It must have been more than that because he got $20,000. So he must have. I don't know if the gift cards might have had $200 on them or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But anyways, yeah, basically scammed the taxpayers of New York out of $20,000 over this gun buyback. I guess to get guns off the streets or something is what the aim is, I guess.
I don't know what the gun buyback is, but listen, if
people aren't disposing their guns appropriately, you can't. They're putting their guns in the garbage disposal or something.
I think it was in order to get guns off the streets, but here's the fucking thing. There is not a single gun I own that I would sell for $100 or $200. That's insanity.
Yeah, you're talking about like a junk gun that don't work, that like isn't even worth antique value. You know, like what are we talking about here?
I have no idea.
Because even a fucking shitty gun's worth $200, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm fine with, like, the concept of a gun buyback isn't crazy to me, but you better be offering, market value or close to it.
It sounds like you're trying to get criminals to give guns that they stole back to the government. That's what it's like. We can trick these guys. $200. We know you took the gun.
Yeah,
we're not gonna arrest you. Just give
totally fine.
Just give it to. I know it's not your serial number. That's okay.
I know there's not a serial number at all.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, which is, if you don't know, that's a felony, like minimum 10 years kind of shit. You can't have a freaking gun with no serial number scratched off on it.
You don't have one of those? Just in case
Speaking
gun?
of serial numbers too, I mean, they can't make that a criteria for the 3D printing thing. So that's another thing you got to weigh. It's not like you have to have, because they want you to give up any gun, even if it had his serial numbers cut off. So how crazy he fucking cheated the system like that. I'm so jealous.
I remember seeing that. I thought it was ingenious. I loved it.
These 3D printers, man, it's so empowering to the people, man. It's so exciting. I keep talking about it for a month or two now. Like I'm talking about I'm gonna buy one, but I'm just fucking. I need to get one.
It's been months since I've had mine, and you were talking about getting one.
Well, yeah, you have both kinds. You have and I didn't really have too much interest in the little figure kind of one.
I finally selling shit from that one.
Good.
I had my first sale like 4 days ago.
I got to hit you up with my buddies too. I told you they'd buy some from you too.
Yeah.
Because they have a, what's that game called people play? Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, they have their own little group that they wanted to make some figures for. I forgot all about it. And I was going to ask you, are you selling them like on Facebook Marketplace or a Craigslist ad or something, or how you doing?
Currently on eBay.
You had the eBay sales.
Yeah.
Cool.
One really cool thing is this game MetaZoo. There's a bunch of different status conditions. Like Pokemon has 4 or 5, like, you know, paralysis, burn, poison. Well, MetaZoo doesn't really have any tokens to indicate that, or any like rule set on how to indicate that. So I found someone who had made 3D files for little tokens that have like a lightning bolt or a poison cloud, shit like that. And I printed a bunch of them, and I'm going to bring them to Collecticon.
Interesting.
And if I'm going to play with them, and if someone's like, oh shit, where'd you get those? I'll be like, I actually have a bag, an extra bag. Weird. I brought it just in case.
50 bags at $10 a piece randomly here. Buy 2, get 1 free.
I would seriously, like, you want to give me a pack of cards or something? Like,
oh yeah, trade it.
I would say, well, I'm not going to sell these, but I'll trade you.
Trading's
I'll trade you
exciting,
something.
too. I have a security guard right now that at my storage unit that keeps trying to trade me for a gun messenger bag that I had in my storage. Like, I have 2 different security guards at this storage unit who just every time I'm up there, when I open my storage unit, I have a cart full of stuff that I roll out so I can get into the unit kind of. So it's like, I don't know, it's space saving kind of. And so they know I'm up there, and every time I'm up there, they end up talking to me for an hour, man. And then I'm trying to like actually work right now, obviously, but it's like, what do you got for sale?
Oh, wow.
But of course, like one of them, they love guns, obviously, and they're always asking when I got gun stuff or whatever. And I had that one gun bag, and I have it listed for like $200 on eBay, but it's like more like $100 kind of a bag, honestly. I have it listed ridiculously high. And he's trying to offer me $65, and then I'm like, what do you got to trade, man? You got some stuff laying around, you know? What do you got? So now he's got like an iPad and then like he's trying to throw in like bottles of wine that apparently somebody at the storage unit left a giant box of wine bottles from like 2004 or 2005.
Oh, wow.
So then I thought that's the reaction I had. But I told my girlfriend that, and she's like, you have to make sure they aren't just vinegar. And I'm like, how do I do that?
Well, you got to figure out how they were stored, because the cork,
they're all sealed, you know.
Well, the way it happens is people, you know, you've seen people store their wine bottles on their side.
Oh.
That keeps the cork moist, which keeps it inflated. Oh. But if you store it upright, that cork dries out and air gets to it, and it turns to vinegar.
You know what? They could have been, man. They very well could have been just in a box like this.
Right. That's the fear.
Wow. So you're gambling, I guess? You don't know or you just assume after a certain amount of time that's turned to vinegar.
Yeah, nobody stores it upright. If it was stored upright, I would say it's turned in like 6 months to a year, maybe. I don't know.
Uh-huh. All right, good to know. Good to know. I am not a big drinker at all.
Yeah.
I hardly ever drink. I'll have like 2 beers a month, kind of a thing.
What's really cool,
I don't
though,
mind
is
wine, though, actually.
sometimes they'll find like a fucking a pirate ship wreck, and there will be wine bottles that went down with the ship.
Ooh.
Still good, because obviously those corks are still wet.
I had a Snoop Dogg's wine the other night with Tess. I went to a liquor store, and I'm like walking around like 5 minutes before this place fucking closes, and the guys are basically like, can we help you? We're closing. You know? Like, I'm not picky. I just need a bottle of wine, man. I don't know. Something tasty. And he's like, we recommend Snoop Dogg's wine. And it was actually a really nice little sweet wine.
Okay.
Should we do a wine tasting video?
Yeah, they would love that.
Here, I have no. Oh, this has tones of orange and citrus, I think.
We could do a tasting to end this podcast, actually.
Wait, let me check my notes here. I thought I had one more thing to bring up. Oh, it was mainly just the 3D printed thing. The only other thing I saw was freaking Liver King hanging out with MMA fighters this week.
Oh.
And he challenged some MMA fighters to have a liver eating contest.
He was on a podcast that I watched this week, and I got to tell you,
he's getting a little bit too cocky or arrogant almost. There's like this arrogant side of him, isn't he?
The podcast he was on, the dude was like, doesn't buy into that type of bullshit, so he kept challenging him.
Yeah.
And the weird way that Liver King would deflect or go off topic or like say something that contradicts what he said 5 minutes ago made me go, the grift runs way deeper than I thought. Like, I thought he's just trying to sell some pills. He is trying to convince people that this is his lifestyle and it's all real.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Who knows, man?
Like, it's weird. I don't know. That it brought to light, like, I like to make fun of him, but now I'm like, oh, it's more like, oh, fuck this guy.
He's like deep in it now.
Yeah.
It's not as fun as it was before.
It's not funny anymore.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's just annoying and like weird.
I don't know. What if he's onto something? What if he freaking lives to be 150?
Dude, one of the things
like
that happened was obviously he brought raw meat onto the show. And one of the guys was like, what if we get a parasite from this? And he said some shit like, everyone should have a few parasites. And then he's like, a couple tapeworms are actually good for you.
Whoa.
And I'm like, that doesn't sound like a joke.
Whoa. Interesting.
I seen like some type of, I don't know if it was an x-ray or some type of scan of a body from someone who eats raw pork. And every single muscle on this person's body, you could see the worms in their, like, eating their muscles. It was fucked.
I've wondered about, like, I've seen that on TikTok, people getting like these pills that kills the parasites in your body or something. Is that bullshit or what, man?
I have no idea.
I mean, yeah, that's the other thing too, is like you're gonna have some parasites in your body. I get it, but you know, is there things you should be doing? And then the TikToks are always saying like, all over the Europe and across the world, this is just a common practice to do once a year, and Americans don't know. Like, they always advertise it like we don't know the fucking what's going on around the world.
Yeah,
you know?
classic.
Who knows, man? It's TikTok. I'm probably just another Liver King just trying to sell some pills.
You know what these are? Look how tiny these peppers are. You're not afraid of these, are you?
Yes.
You wouldn't be afraid to pop one in your mouth right now as a cool outro, would you?
Oh my God.
I grew these in my garden. Here, you can take the smaller of the two.
Oh no. What kind of pepper is it?
It's called the jigsaw pepper. Tiny little pepper. You probably can't even see it on screen right now.
You like spicy food, do you?
Who says they're spicy?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying
They're
in general.
definitely a little spicy. They're pretty spicy. I do like spicy food. I fuck around with peppers a lot. I watch a lot of Hot Ones where they eat the hot wings, and this week it was David Blaine. Remember I haven't seen that one yet.
It was good.
I love Hot Ones. I've not watched that one yet.
I mean, I don't need to spoil anything. You definitely need to watch it, but David Blaine took it like a champ. There was one wing where he coughed a little bit, and at the very end, he brought out 2 ghost peppers, I believe, or some fucking killer-ass pepper, and gave one to the host, and then he ate one as well. And the host dude, I can't remember his name.
Sean Evans,
yeah. He was like, I know what this is going to be. And he's like freaking out already because he's done this before. And he immediately started asking for like ice cream and stuff. And David Blaine over there is just like, this is good. It's tasty. Yeah, I like it.
Do you believe for 1 second a magician, Mr. Sleight of Hand, who was like, oh, I totally fucking ate that.
I know. Just like...
No wonder he did so well. He didn't eat shit on that whole episode.
I'm just thinking now every fucking wing he has fucking switched it out somehow.
His sleeves are filled with hot wings.
Oh, David Blaine.
All right, you ready?
I guess.
Cheers.
Why are you laughing?
It's not so bad, is it?
It's pretty hot.
You're turning red.
I already know the kind of reactions I have to spicy food, and I'll probably get the hiccups, but I sweat.
Yeah.
So I imagine I'll start to sweat here pretty soon.
I grew these other peppers. They're called lemon spice peppers, and I didn't label them, so they turned yellow. And I was like, oh, lunchbox peppers.
Oh, no.
Which are really sweet peppers,
Yeah.
like no spice at all. And I bit the end of it, and I was like, sweet. Okay, for sure, 100% this is a lunchbox pepper. Popped the whole thing in my mouth, chewed it, and then I was like, oh, I fucked up. Lemon spice is like...
Here's my pepper story, but
These are a little hotter than a jalapeno, I would say. The lemon spice, not these. These aren't as hot as that.
So I go to this like little tiny grocery store that's only open actually seasonally, and they only have like farmers around that have a little organic grows come in, and they sell little baskets for like $3, and sometimes it's just random little baskets, and sometimes I'll grab the pepper one, and it's all mixed peppers. I don't even fucking know what is in there, but what I do is I chop them all up and I freeze them. That way when I make a pizza, eggs, whatever, get out of the freezer, ready to go. But it's decently spicy too. Some of them are sweet peppers and some of them are fucking, I don't even know what the fuck I put in there really.
Yeah.
And the first time I did this, I didn't wear gloves when I cut the fucking peppers up. And so I get done and everything. And then like, you don't realize it, you start to mess with your nose a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize that you start to fucking touch your eyes. And I'm like, I'm at the end of the night, so I'm getting ready for bed. I'm already done cutting the peppers. The last thing I did, I was meal prepping or whatever. And now I'm trying to go to sleep, and everything starts fucking burning all over me. I already could feel it in my hands, actually. It was already starting, but I didn't think about it and then start touching in my nose. And then what the fuck, how do I get it out of my fucking nose now? That was some of the worst. This is definitely spicy.
Yeah.
But that was some of the worst shit I've done to myself.
Damn. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. I know we took a big break. We got new videos lined up coming soon. We were both out of town, and then I had family in town,
and we fucked one up.
A couple weeks were weird, yeah, and then we fucked that one up. But we're back on schedule. It'll probably be podcast, and then we'd like to film at the Collecticon. Maybe we can get a video like that out.
I'm picking the pepper out of my teeth now. I was getting some more residuals.
All right. Like, sub. Goodbye.